The DJ scene thrives on creativity, yet behind the flashing lights lies an uncomfortable truth. The decks remain heavily dominated by white cisgender men. Despite being born from vibrant Black and LGBTQ+ communities, electronic music has seen its diversity fade. In 2025, only 22% of artists in Ibiza identified as female or gender fluid, leaving too many voices unheard. This Petracucha drops the needle on the structural, historical and cultural forces behind this imbalance, and ways to break through the loop of exclusion and change the tune for the future. Festival lineups are key indicators of representation. Tomorrowland has been entertaining electronic music fans globally since 2005, yet it took 17 years for the lineup to feature their first female headliner. Creamfields is also male-dominated, with 80.9% of its 2024 lineup being male. This imbalance has been noticed and addressed by festivals, artists and audiences, and in turn, over 45 festivals pledged to achieve a 50-50 gender balance in their lineups by 2022. This has since grown to more than 700 music festivals and organisations taking the gender balance pledge. Evaluations of talent have become the somatic norm by looking the part. Due to this, often female DJs turn up for a gig and are asked if they're the DJ's assistant or girlfriend. The normalisation of constant sexual harassment and judgment prevents women from receiving the fair chance that they deserve. DJing sits behind a glass ceiling, requiring social capital that privileges those already in dominant networks. Male privilege is an infrastructure shaped by patriarchal norms. Media bias amplifies that privilege and culture of misogyny. Honey Dijon notes, real change needs control of venues and institutions by women and people of colour. The digital revolution has reduced traditional barriers to entry. Platforms like YouTube and TikTok enable creators to bypass industry gatekeepers. This shift has supported diverse participation, giving access to collectives such as Equalizer that teach and mentor women, trans and non-binary DJs, avoiding gendered industry norms. Companies and organisations are increasingly emphasising diversity, framing it as a moral obligation. Initiatives like PwC's Great Minds Don't Think Alike training raise awareness and create pressure on companies to promote diversity. This aligns with the Tuna framework, highlighting the complexity of today's environment, whilst emphasising that diversity creates harmony and masterpieces. Euromonitor's 2026 Global Trends Report highlights rising demand for intentional consumption, self-expression and uniqueness. It states that 50% of consumers seek products or services that reflect their identity. In cultural spaces like DJing, these shifts suggest broader diversity, individuality, and inclusion in artists, styles, and audiences. In 1970s Chicago, queer, Black, and Latino people were unwelcome in bars and clubs. This gave rise to a network of gay member clubs where house music started. Since then, queerness and blackness has slowly and intentionally been erased. An example of this is David Guetta being dubbed the grandfather of electronic music. The UK Music Diversity Report found that ethnically diverse representation across the industry rose to 25.2% in 2024. Presenting likelihood of a growing structural change in the music industry. Alongside this, Afro House has surged on platforms, rising from 23rd to 4th most searched, encouraging decentralisation of cultural power. Economic barriers such as the cost of quality equipment, studio time, and promotion mean that aspiring DJs from lower income backgrounds struggle to participate. This financial pressure disproportionately affects women and marginalised DJs, limiting their ability to build a sustainable career. Initiatives such as the PRS Foundation and its Early Career Promoter Fund are crucial in widening access to DJing for underrepresented groups, including women, gender-diverse people, and ethnically minoritized promoters. Offering grants, mentoring, and activities help emerging DJs to establish and build networks, collectively contributing to redressing the structural inequalities. The numbers paint a picture of a harsh reality. In 2025, only 15% of DJs on the DJ Mag Top 100 were women, and in 2024, just 22.1% of senior music industry roles were held by ethnically diverse people, revealing just how limited true representation is. However, influence is fragmenting. The 2025 IMS Business Report notes a rise in the registered female DJ user base and growing visibility for women and non-binary artists. signalling a cultural shift. As new talent gains traction and support systems expand, male dominance becomes less inevitable, proving how dominance does not equal permanence. Diversity within DJing is a black elephant, a high-impact effect beyond regular expectations but ignored despite evidence of its existence. Addressing these factors is the only way to rebel against the ignorance and appreciate the beauty in diversity. Dance music is powerful. It gets under our skin, into our hearts, and moves our bodies. It's emotional fuel and a community force with great potential for social inclusion. Above and beyond all, music has no race. It appeals to everybody. The statistics show how male dominance has shattered these concepts, yet they highlight the beginning of a powerful shift. As lineups diversify, institutions evolve, and initiatives encourage underrepresented talent, women and non-binary DJs are breaking through barriers, reshaping dance music's future and reclaiming the culture. The DJ scene is at a turning point where legacy meets reinvention. Its soundtrack is rooted in exclusion, appropriation, visibility, and unequal credit. As documented in histories of dance music's Black, queer, and Latinx origins, the future of dance music is orientated on repiecing this to include everyone. Although the decks remain largely in the hands of white men, the tempo of change is gaining volume, but achieving real diversity demands more than diversifying who steps behind the decks. It requires shifting who profits, who curates lineups, and who shapes the pulse of the industry's future. In the end, connection is more powerful than control.